Hello everybody. Breaking Isaac might be an overwhelming concept at first, but it's actually a lot easier to do than you might think. But it also requires a little bit of luck and sometimes a little bit of grind. This video breaks down a 3-hour run which started as a feeble little Cain run to the dark room but proceeded to go absolutely bonkers. Maybe the first indication that the run was going to be mind-bogglingly insane was the instant planetarium. If you've been keeping up with my content, you'll know that I never press the R key. Unless you're talking about the active item, I use the R key all the goddamn time. After grabbing a Book of Sin and taking down a Blighted Oven, I headed down to the next floor where there was a nice membership card on sale before finding this room. If the run wasn't lucky enough, how about placing a single bomb and finding a small rock and the school bag? The school bag is huge for breaking the game, and it's nice to find it pretty early because it allows you to juggle things like spin down dice and D-infinities without the constant backtracking, making it a very fine addition to my collection. I found a Yera in the curse room on the next floor, swiftly followed by a shop with the next big item, Diplopia. At this stage of a run, with a school bag, Diplopia and a Yera, this should already start ringing major bells that this is a run that could break. But I already had most of the marks on Cain. I was not planning to break on this run, so you may be upset with my actual usage of Diplo, but you'll see that in just a moment. So we stash those, take down Bighorn, head down to the next floor, take out Bumbimo McBino, and hop on down to the alt path. My idea was that if I don't get any of the game breaking items, I could at the very least Diplo the boss rush items, which opens on the alt path if you get there within 25 minutes. But then a cheeky birthright drops, which is absolutely insane on Cain. It gives you better arcades, and Cain has an innate ability to get better rewards from arcade machines anyway. This is why they pay out so quickly on him and can make you quite powerful. Humbling Bundle also arrives, another disgustingly powerful item when it comes to breaking the game. Now for some silly reason, this is where I decided to use the Diplo on a bunch of Souls of Lilith, because I lost faith in the idea of a break during the run, and little did I know what the RNG gods had in store. In the next membership card room, I find a bloody penny, so on a character which can make a ton of money, we also have some health regeneration, which fuels even more money, fueling more rerolls. It's starting to look tasty, and by the time we get to the mom fight, we're kind of overpowered already. Just look at all the items we have by depths too. Look at the stats, and we're only just getting started. With this kind of power, we completely fly through the first womb floor, the second womb floor, and Shoal. Remember when I said some breaks require a little bit of luck? Well, don't shout at me, but once I got to the dark room, Edmund just decided to give me the R key. You see, once you see items in the secret room, you start to think, I'll just wait till the end of the floor in case I get a Perthro or something. Well, in this run, I got the or something. Part of the reason I used the Diplo earlier was that Cain already had all of the marks, so trying to break the game didn't really have much value for me, but if Edmund wants me to do it, god damn it, I'm gonna do it. So, after beating the lamb, it was time to use the R key and start an entirely new run, just to see what kind of fun we could have. With a reroll machine in the shop and a Steam sale from the last run, we start buying up all the shop items, including Moving Box, which has very interesting applications. One of them being, you can pick up items, perhaps from those shops with all the cheap actives, and pop them down into secret rooms where that D6 comes back into play. Is that PhD for even more money from blood banks? Anyway, there's spin down. It was inevitable. I decide to grab Quad Brim because why not? Make it a fat Quad Brim before finding a second R key just by chance. I probably shouldn't have taken Chaos if I wanted to fully break the game, but at this point, I still wasn't fully aware of what is truly possible in Isaac. I stashed the R key and spotted the guillotine. After heaving my guts at even the mere sight of this disgusting abomination, I spun it down into the final piece of the puzzle, the sharp plug. Collecting this item officially puts you in a position where you can do anything in Isaac. To recap, we have a school bag, a spin down, a sharp plug to keep it charged, and a humbling bundle piggy bank, along with a gulped bloody penny that I swallowed so long ago, it's not even on the item list anymore. At this stage of the run, you should probably just find a magic skin so that breakfast doesn't end the break prematurely, but since I wasn't even planning on doing an ultra mega break, I was being a little bit lazy, but using those infinite spin downs, I make myself a clicker, which lets me roll into a new character. Don't even ask me who it is, but I see that they need Delirium and Mother, and I'm already on the chest, and we're 100 minutes into this nonsense. Delirium surprisingly survives for quite a while, probably because he teleports all over the place and my Brim Mum's knives aren't touching him really, but he goes down and it's time for the alt path. Using that stashed Arky, I go to the first shop, find a mystery gift, and what do you know? It's another Arky. Of course, every enemy and boss melts like butter after 3 Arkies worth of items, so this run goes just fine. If you're in a similar break, one thing to point out is that none of your passives actually apply in the chase sequence on mines too. So if you're being lazy and you think that extra lives might save you, they won't. If you die here, you will just die regardless of what items you have. Mother, of course, evaporates and it's onto the delirium floor once again. I craft myself another clicker and turn into unknown character 2, who needs boss rush, delirium and mother. Well, I'm already at delirium, so we can get that done before using another Arky to set forth on, well, a 4th run. You might be saying, how are you going to do boss rush with 2 hours and 20 on the timer? Well, we just craft a Mega Bean. Another basement full of creatures falls to my wrath on the way to Mausoleum 2. Oh, hey, well, cool. We Mega Bean, spin down into the Arky just for fun, and chill out for a minute or two while every boss falls at our mercy. We pick up C-section because that seems fun. Mother folds over like a red hot Mars bar, and we get into the last part of the run because this is where I make a small mistake. It is possible to mess up the break as I do here, so let it serve as a warning for you if you try to break the game like this. You see, the clicker has a 50-50 chance of removing the last item that you picked up. So if you're switching around stuff when you're doing the spin down shenanigans and the last item that you pick up is your spin down dice, it can definitely just disappear as you try to clicker into a character with no marks. If you lose spin down, you can't create new Arkies, and so unless you have a way to spawn the M trinket and create a new spin down, which is entirely possible, then the break just ends there. But since I'm nearly 3 hours into this filthy run, I'm almost grateful because I need the madness to end, and so we do end with a beast run with the final Arky. If I wasn't speedrunning before, I was now. Every room deleted as I mow my way through to the ascent and meet Dogma for the first time in the run. Predictably, he shatters, closely followed by his 4 horsemen, and finally the huge greasy mass herself. So not only did Cain shatter the dark room, he morphed into his 3 good pals, Eden, Laz and Napoleon. They all completed a bunch of marks, all in one 3-hour bonanza, which leaves me to ask, how hard is it to break Isaac as Cain? I'd give it a solid 2 out of 10, but what about you? What do you reckon? I do have one favour to ask. If you liked this video, please leave a like, subscribe and join the Discord if you want to keep up with the community. And if you want to help me fund my crippling latte addiction, consider becoming a member of the channel or leaving a super chat, which definitely helps to make more videos like this one. See ya!